TNA Final Resolution 2008, January. And yes, we got to specify the month because they did 2 Final Resolutions in 2008. I mean, is there anything that TNA doesn't fuck up? But the first pay-per-view of 2008 for TNA, we got Kurt versus Christian. Kevin Nash and Samoa Joe are teaming up to go for the tag titles. We got an Ultimate X match in the real beginning of the Women's Revolution. Strap in. It's the Apron Bump Podcast.
It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock this. Let's get started.
What's up, everybody? Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to the Apron Bump Podcast. I'm your host, the hardest part of the ring, Kyle. How's everybody doing today? By the way, at the moment, I'm speaking a little quietly because the wife is sick in the other room, and I don't want to be, screaming about Judas Macias's cock while she's trying to sleep. So we'll make this short and sweet. The podcast itself was recorded a few weeks ago, so that'll be all fine. That'll be the norm. But until then, you're just gonna get ASMR, Kyle, right in your ears. Maybe I should just do the whole episode like this. Make my podcast an ASMR. ASMR wrestling. Has that market been cornered yet? Maybe I could be the first one. Let's whip you into the ropes. Little arm drag. Bear hug. Three-handled family credenza, moss covered, wherever the fuck it was. Anyways, we got a fun one on our hands here. TNA being TNA in the best possible way and the worst possible ways. Your classic 2008 TNA. It's what you expect, it's what you love. And speaking of love, I love my guest from this episode, Nate from Wrestle Addict Radio, returning to the show. One of my first ever guests on the podcast. He's been on 1 or 2 times since then, and he's my go-to TNA guy. So it's always a pleasure having Nate the Great on the pod here. Go follow him. All of his socials will be in the description below. Go follow Wrestle Addict Radio. Both Nate, Fretz, a reoccurring guest of the Apron Bump podcast, and some others that I've had on. They have a great podcast network over there. They do the current product. They touch on some old school stuff. Nate has his own Brace for Impact podcast underneath the Wrestle Addict umbrella where he talks a lot of old school TNA. So if you like the TNA stuff from the Apron Bump, you'll enjoy what Nate does over there. Fretzelmania podcast, of course, Kings of the Rings, Young Lions Perspective, all sorts of stuff over there. Go check them out. Give them a follow. Give them a subscribe. Give them a poke in the belly button until stuff secretes out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't. But until then, follow me as well at Apron Bump on all the social medias. And yeah, let's get right into it, shall we? TNA Final Resolution 2008. January with myself and Nate from Wrestle Addict Radio.
It gets very bitter and very rancidly cold. It's just absolutely insane.
How cold is it right now?
We're at a high of -4.
Jesus tits, man. Why do you live there?
I guess because the cheese is good and the beer is good. I don't know.
The cheese is good. I have been there and I've had their cheese curds, and man, when they whistle at you when you bite into them, daddy choke me. You know,
it is the good shit.
It's good. Well, hey, I'm kind of method. I'm with you because I'm in Virginia where it's not quite as cold, but our heat's out, so it's like I'm up there with you.
Well, the problem is that with the Arctic air that we have that comes to you guys on the East Coast, sometimes it's worse for you guys because you're next to an ocean, so you're next to water, which gets even colder. So I don't know whereabouts in Virginia if you live near the.
I'm about 10 minutes from the ocean. Yes.
Yeah, so you're basically going to be dealing with your own personal hell,
buddy. In the winter, I deal with that. In the summer, it's humid. The ocean sucks. Fuck the ocean. Let's start off with that before we get into TNA. Fuck the ocean. Thoughts?
You know what? We could do away with the sharks. We can do away with the coral.
Sure.
Also, it would get rid of a lot of those oil spills. So, yeah, fuck the ocean, man.
I mean, what? Seafood? Who gives a fuck about shrimp?
The only seafood I need is the one that's right in front of me on a plate. I see food and I eat it.
This guy over here. This guy over here. By the way, you don't need a camera. It's fine. Mine has been freezing every now and again. So if it does again, I'm probably just gonna turn mine off since we're going, glory hole mode here.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine, man. We're all good.
Yeah. But I unplugged it and plugged it back in, and now it's working, which pisses me off because I was dealing with it for so long. But
isn't it just amazing when it's just those things where it's just like, oh, how do I fix this? Turn it off, turn it back on again. Oh, it's working fine.
Blow on it a little bit, tickle it, breathe on its neck. Sometimes it's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Also, can you hear this? By the way, this is another issue because my last podcast I had, there were so many technical issues. Can you hear this? Fuck, I can't even hear it. Well, fuck it, my soundboard's off anyways. So no studio audience, everybody. I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to rely on real laughter.
It's the Thunderdome edition of the Apron Bump.
That's really what this is, right? It might as well be in the Thunderdome. But we are not in the Thunderdome. And speaking of issues, TNA, that's what we're here to talk about today. Final resolution, January, because for whatever reason they had 2 final resolutions in 2008, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because which one's the final one? You know what I mean?
That is the weird part because upon reviewing this, it was one of those things where I'm like, oh yeah, there's another one at the end of the year. Wait, why? And I see it on Wikipedia too, where they announce that there's the January one and then there's a December one. I'm just like, oh, this is 2 different cards, 2 different deals, 2 different sides of the coin.
Yeah, because I always go to Cage Match to get the card to like paste into my notes to take notes, and it's like, oh yeah, Main Event Mafia's on here, Beer Money's on here. It's like, what the fuck? When did this happen? I've been watching all the Impacts. I missed this whole development, but yeah, it's the 12 months after this. But maybe we should call this first resolution, first resolution because it's the first pay-per-view of 2008.
Why couldn't we just have called it Genesis? It just made more sense to start with Genesis and with final resolutions. I'm just saying.
That would make way too much sense there, Nathan. You know that's not the protocol of Total Nonstop Action.
Oh, bro, I totally understand, bro. It's just not the way that we do business, bro. They're not going to know the difference, bro.
I mean, out the gate here, I'll say this pay-per-view was pretty solid, I would say. It has a few weird little quirks to it as per any TNA pay-per-view in this time period, but I guess out the gate, because I would consider you a TNA expert of sorts, a vast knowledge of the product, and then this is the first pay-per-view of 2008. My question to you is, as far as years go, where does 2008 fall for TNA? One of the best, one of the worst?
I want to say it's kind of in the middle with certain areas. Like, I will say this, that the stuff with the X Division is still pretty good from what I recall. I know this is also the genesis of the Main Event Mafia towards the end of the year, which is actually starts off really well. There's at least, I think, one show where I'm like, and you just basically jumped the shark on this thing. Yeah. I think that might have actually been, ironically enough, Genesis of 2009, where it's like, crap. But no, this is where we get really getting like peak Perk angle here. We get Samoa Joe as world champion down the line. Actually, if I remember correctly, I think I reviewed a match that was between Angle and Styles, and it was a last man standing match where you had to pin somebody and then you had to do the 10 count deal. And I actually said, this is probably one of the greatest matches TNA has done, because honestly, it felt really good and the finish was really good. So when you get to that show, I promise you that matchup might just give you a different perspective on that series, because we're getting the genesis. Again, I'm saying the keywords right now of Angle and Styles. It gets a little weird, but the matches are worth it.
Yeah, no, I watched live. I don't remember a ton of like what order things happened in and exactly what happened. So I have it's in the back of my noggin somewhere. But yeah, I know 08 is just I mean, we're already seeing it, a lot of the Russo influence, but there's also just, because this is my thing with TNA. It's like this roster is like the best roster that's ever been assembled of wrestlers. I mean, both from guys like big names from the past, from like the Attitude Era, and then you got the newer guys like AJ, Joe, all that stuff. And it's all under one roof, but that roof just happens to be this shitty little Universal Studios, the Impact Zone, and with weird match stipulations and weird finishes and weird stories. But the talent just happens to be, I mean, the cream of the crops. The TNA is just a whirlwind every time, which is why I enjoy covering it, I guess, because there's always so much meat on the bone.
Absolutely.
And that's why you do it as well, which is why I'm happy to have you here. And might as well just dive right into this bad boy. We kick it off with LAX, the team of Hernandez and Homicide, taking on the Rock and Rave Infection, the team of Jimmy Rave and Lance Hoyt, accompanied by Christy Hemme. I thought this was a really fun opener. LAX, and that's kind of the story of the match, is that LAX kind of lost momentum towards the later half of 2007. haven't really been factored into the tag title scene or anything. They just kind of been floating around, but the crowd clearly still loves LAX. And I mean, this was no fat to this match, a hot start, fun spots here. I thought it was a really good opener. What'd you think about it?
Honestly, it is amazing to see how far LAX has really come, because they kind of were a spawn of the 3 Live crew, where they had Conan and Homicide. And then I think, if I remember correctly, I think the third guy was originally Machete. Not that Machete, but somebody who was just named Machete.
So the first iteration was Conan, Homicide, and Apollo, I think, for like a very brief period. And then Apollo left. They brought in Machete. Then Machete left, and then they brought in Hernandez. Yeah.
And that's where they found their groove. And we have to remember that when they first came on, they were really just a bunch of thugs, just beating up people, gouging people with forks. Oh gosh. I mean, their match series with Daniels and AJ is just so good.
Yeah.
To have them go from that to being the big time, baby faces that they are now, it's kind of crazy to think, because eventually they get paired off with Hector Guerrero, which I think helped their stock a little bit. But it was also one of those things where it's like, I don't think that they needed a third person. I think they just wanted somebody that was going to be like the main talker, like Conan was for them when they were heels.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, I guess they needed somebody. I guess Conan left, and it was just, I guess maybe that's what kind of killed their momentum a little bit. It was just them two, and neither guy is like I mean, they can talk. Homicide can talk, but he doesn't have like the eloquence of a Conan. Not to say Conan's particularly eloquent. That's probably the wrong word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And what could Super Mex do? He could do a tope. Oh, cool. Big guy can fly. I mean, it's going to be one of Dixie Carter's pet projects, and I've seen that workings. And oh boy, that's a topic for a totally different time and totally different show. But
yeah.
Focusing on the good here, and I will say this: that one thing I was very high on, especially when I listened to my review of this, was that I was very high on the Rock and Rave Infection. I thought these guys were just a very fun gimmick. I thought they could have done something more with it, but ultimately there's only so much you can do when you kind of do a 3MB style-esque gimmick. Instead of air guitars, you get Rockstar guitars or Guitar Hero. Guitars.
Yep. Very of the time, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm surprised they never really got much higher than this point, really, just kind of as like an undercard tag team, but because both guys individually are so talented. But yeah, pretty quick match here. I mean, again, a hot start at the beginning. Hernandez with a hilarious like bell clap to Jimmy Rave off the apron. Homicide goes for his tope, but it's blocked, and then Hernandez, like you said, hurdling not only Homicide but the top rope onto the floor, onto Rock and Rave Infection. And then from there, it's a Hernandez show. We get a Cracker Jack to Jimmy Rave, which is just basically grabbing a guy by the neck and tossing him over your head. Homicide hits his tope finally onto Jimmy Rave on the outside. And then Hernandez with a second rope border toss to Jimmy Rave, which the name of the finisher always, that's the craziest. The border toss by Hernandez, which is a cross powerbomb, but a throwing version, which is sick, especially off the second rope. That looks brutal. But yeah, LAX gets the win here. What do you think about that? What do you think about them apples, Nathan?
I thought this was a good start. I rated this matchup a B. I thought that was really good start up between these 4 guys. It was a good way to start off the pay-per-view, honestly. But what made it more interesting, and I'm sure we're going to get into this, is the post-match.
because the match doesn't really matter ultimately, right? It's all
Right.
the post-match. Because on Impact and maybe even the last pay-per-view, they've been building up this quote-unquote member of the Latino nation, this mysterious masked person. And they've been attacking Christy Hemme, which causes TNA to have umbrage with that because they don't support man-on-female violence, which we'll talk about more later in the show. So it's been an issue. They don't like the man-on-woman violence, but this member of the Latino nation gets in there. Lance Hoyt grabs them, and the member hits a low blow onto Hoyt, and then Christy Hemme with a low blow to the Latino nation member. But here's the thing, Nate. No effect, because they got no balls. My God. It was me, Austin. They pull down the bandana, and it's Shelly Martinez. Who would have thought this very femininely built person was a woman? Who would have thought? Who would have thought? So, what a reveal, huh?
Oh my God. I mean, literally, you mentioned like the first part of it. It gets crazier, folks. She literally just does almost like a striptease for the entire show. But then
Not almost.
Okay,
Does a striptease.
Hold on. I say almost because unfortunately the camera kept panning over to Christy, who is just freaking out, just going like, "What? Yeah. Lance, it's a girl." I'm just like, really? I never would have guessed that from the hoo-has that she got out there, which is an awesome LAX t-shirt design. And then I think I mentioned that she does this like kind of very sexualized LAX symbol, to which I'm like, can we just have her do that from now on? Just Homicide, Hernandez, you guys are good. Just have Shelly do that. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I support it. Definitely a new zest to the LAX faction, but yeah, I like it. The former Ariel of Kevin Thorne fame, Shelly Martinez, making her debut here. Yeah, got some nice milkers on her, and that's pretty much all she's got going. I don't think she was particularly good in the ring.
What are you talking about? She had that instant classic at December to Dismember with Thorne, Kelly, and Nux that nobody talks about because the Extreme Elimination Chamber happened.
I mean, that might have been the second best match on the show, though, to be fair.
You know what? The first matchup was a WWE match, so I think you might be right. That might be the best ECW match that was on that card.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, ECW original Shelly Martinez. So we got the birth of what is it? What's their fucking group? The ECW group in TNA. EV 2.0. No, it's like EV 2.0 or something.
Yeah, EV 2.0.
Yeah,
which I've been covering lately, and oh my gosh, it is
lucky you. Bald Sabu.
Oh my gosh, Sabu wrestled Doug Williams on a pay-per-view, and it was
hilarious sentence, by the way.
It was fine. It was roughly, broadly fine.
It's TNA in a nutshell, I guess. But
with the EV 2.0, I agree.
Yeah. So that happened, and then we go or not really backstage. It's more of like a pre-tape. We got the DCS. Nate, do you know what that stands for?
The Drinking Championship Series.
That is correct. We're back to this between James Storm and Eric Young. So just to kind of, because you're kind of back and forth in the timeline, let me just let's recalibrate for a second.
Mm-hmm.
James Storm, Eric Young had a DCS a couple months ago. Just some tomfoolery, drinking. Who could drink more? Who could handle their alcohol better? Just a lot of fun. And then James Storm made it not fun. A brutal attack with a chair, bloodying Eric Young, laying him out in the middle of the ring, and just a blood feud leading into one of the later pay-per-views of 07. But now we're fine again, I guess. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. Now we're just having a good old time backstage, playing some Never Have I Ever drinking games with Jacqueline and Jeremy Borash and Crystal, and what a hoot.
This is crazy. I will say that this is probably the best part of the show. I'm not going to lie. I loved this shit where they're literally just backstage 3 times. They get 3 segments of this. And
it's a best of 3 series, of course.
It is so funny. Like you said, the first event is here where they're doing a Never Have I Ever deal. I'm trying to remember like some of the questions that they had. I think I remember.
I got them if you need them.
I'll
I'll let you try to guess if you want.
No, please indulge us on the amazing, riveting questions that these men asked each other.
Well, James Storm, by the way, is being a heel here because he's saying things that I would assume he's never done. So I think he's cheating in this. But and by the way, for those unfamiliar, never have I ever, you say something you've never done, and if the other person has done it, they lose a finger, and if you lose 3 fingers, you lose. So James Storm says, never have I ever seen Miss Brooks's boobs. Which Eric Young clearly has, as per the lore, right? So Eric loses a finger. Eric Young says he never went to the moon, but then James Storm says he has. So Eric, I think, right? I'm actually, you know what? I was taking notes on this. I'm like, why am I taking notes on this? My notes are a little loose.
He's apparently Cameron Grimes. He's Cameron Grimes' dad. That's how I know that this is real.
That actually, I could see it. I don't know if the ages make sense, but I could see it.
It's wrestling. It never makes sense.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And, Eric says he never killed a lion, but James Storm has with his bare hands. Eric Young, something about being raised in Detroit in the 6'7". It's like a rap lyric or something. I don't know. But whatever. James Storm eventually wins. Oh, James Storm also says he never bought condoms at 1 a.m. at a gas station, which harkens back to when Eric Young did that to make coitus with Miss Brooks. So much lore here. But yeah, ultimately, all that to say, James Storm wins game 1 of the DCS. So,
you need to also factor in the fact that we have one of the best parts of this entire deal is that they made a championship belt for this thing, and they could have made it a custom deal. They could have shelled out a couple bucks, make like a cheap hardcore championship knockoff kind of deal. But Kyle, we don't get that.
No, we don't.
We get a spinner drinking championship belt with a James Storm beer bottle on the front of it, just so they're like, oh, this is not a WWE championship belt that's like a knockoff deal. It's not. They just duct taped the beer bottle on there. It's one of the craziest, but one of the best belts I think I've seen. That's the best way you could make that belt better.
Oh yeah, if it didn't spin, it'd be worthless, I think. So we got that happening. So more on that later, but until then, we're still backstage.
To be continued.
Crystal. Oh, there goes my camera. We're just gonna turn it off.
Okay.
Crystal she's backstage with AJ Styles and Tyson Tomko. And the whole thread through the show is AJ, will he align with Christian or Kurt Angle? And Chris on Impact, they've been trying to get the answer out of him. He won't budge. He doesn't know. He loves both men equally. He can't decide. Tomko's already taking himself out of this situation, but AJ still needs to make a decision. And Crystal's like, hey, AJ, have you made a choice yet? And AJ's apparently still thinking. And allegedly, he'll let us know by the end of the show. But Tomko's pissed at AJ because they're tag team champions, and Tomko wants AJ to focus on them defending their titles. So, what do you think about this thread throughout the show and leading up to this event?
So I think that this is the best time to mention this segment because I re-listened to my review on this, and I was reminded of the segment before this show that happened with AJ Styles, and I was literally like, oh my gosh, this is a core memory that is amazing. That they have a segment where it's just cutting back to AJ, who's at his Grammy's house because apparently he's married, but he has kids, but he lives with his Grammy still. And it's really funny. He's trying to there's like family members trying to talk to him. His sister MJ is there, and
his teacher, like one of his middle school teachers or something. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But it gets better than that because the saving grace of this entire segment is when MJ goes, AJ, if you don't come out of here, I'm gonna tell them something they don't know about you. And you just hear, I don't care, I'm not coming out. And here is MJ saying, well, when he was young, he was a little frisky. One time I caught him in his room making out with, and AJ comes like, whoa. And you know what, MJ, you're ugly. Just it's one of the greatest AJ segments I've seen in TNA. I loved this. And then, of course, the end of the segment of this whole thing is him basically saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna go with Christian. No, I'm gonna go with Kurt. No, I'm gonna go with Kangle." It's like, wait, what?
He's got pictures of both of them on his door.
It was amazing.
Like posters.
Oh, and then it gets better because he's like, "I'll make my decision on Sunday. Now everybody get out of my granny's house and take the stupid camera with you." Just going off. And I'm like, you cannot. This is almost as good as the Kurt Angle confronting Sting's son segment when he's on the football field. This is on the same level of like, this is really good writing right
He
here.
slapped my wife.
I didn't touch your wife and you know it. Get back here.
Dude, TNA Impact on Spike TV might be some of the best television in wrestling history.
I 100% agree. You got this, you got the football deal, you have Kurt Angle roaming around the halls in a Speedo and tan goggles.
The red little Speedo with the goofy small glasses. You looking at my package, JB? No, I wasn't looking at your package.
You wearing my underwear? I'm going commando. Oh, that's cool. Like, what the fuck? This is the weirdest male bonding experience I've ever seen. but yes, to get back on track, even though we're gonna get off track with this show because there's so much good shit that happened with this. Just wait until we get to more Scott Steiner stuff.
Man.
But yeah, I liked that they were definitely playing up the fact that AJ hasn't made his decision. He's trying to play kind of this neutral zone. He's trying to do this deal where he's just like, I got time. He's the procrastinator of TNA right now.
Yeah.
And Tomko just doing his best, like, dude, if you do something that costs us the tag team titles, we're gonna have a problem come Thursday. And it's like, ooh, serious Tomko. I like this. This is actually the most personality I've seen out of him ever. And I like it.
Now, Tomko plays his role well, I think. I mean, I guess we'll talk more about him later, but because I'm also I just watched his debut in WWE and see where he like progressed from then to here. You wouldn't think it's a lot of progression, but it kind of is, just in his presence and his like general like comfortability on screen. I think Tomko is like a solid like bodyguard, you know, big goofus.
He has the look. His talking is good when he's trying to be like a tough guy.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's like, there's still something I feel like it's missing where you're just kind of like not quite clicking yet.
Does he need more tattoos, do you think?
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he just needs to do something. Maybe he just needs to get like a sword on his chest. Maybe he needs to go to UFC or something like that.
Tomko and UFC would be a disaster.
I mean, if he could survive longer than 2 minutes like CM Punk, I think he'll do pretty good.
I think I couldn't do worse. But, well, we could do worse because next we got Kaz taking on Black Rain.
Oh, God. As soon as I heard this matchup, I was like, oh, yeah, this crap.
Now, can I tell you this? This match, not terrible. Not good, but fun. Maybe the best Black Rain match.
I won't disagree with that.
That doesn't involve a stipulation. There might be some like good like bloody brawls, like Monsters Ball type shit, but like as far as like just a singles match, I thought this was serviceable. But I mean, look, Black Rain, he already basically killed Chris Harris's career. So now we're into this, and I'm like, oh, now it's Kaz's turn. But I think Kaz ended up okay at. I mean, he's the current TNA champion, I believe, correct? Which is insane.
Yeah.
Watching this.
He also does Bad Influence, which was a fun tag team. So he does okay for himself. It's just this was a bit of a speed black hole, if you will.
What are your just general thoughts on Black Rain?
Hate the gimmick. It's literally one of those things where it's trying to be Goldust, only opposite. And I feel like this is Dustin Reynolds at his lowest point because physically he just does not look good. Like you look at him nowadays, holy crap, that is quite the metamorphosis from.
Well, he's being tortured by his inner demons there, Nate.
Well, those inner demons are somehow at the end of a donut or a bear claw.
It's not Dustin doing that. It's Black Rain.
Can you imagine being like, no, I can't do that. I must have the donut. Give me my bear claw. And he's that's just Black Rain just eating bear claws until he's just like, I guess it's his version of Venom, basically.
Right. Dustin Rhodes gets on the treadmill, and then all of a sudden he's like, I can't, and he just like zombie walks off of it and gets donuts. Black Rain takes it. That's what he's blaming it on. This is all really Dustin Runnels blaming his physique on a different personality. I think this is all a ruse.
Dude, if this was actually the story of Black Rain, I would probably appreciate this character that much more.
Yeah, rather than just where does he hail from again? He's like, from the darkest corner of his mind, Black Rain. So
it's like into the Russo era cabinet we're going to. Okay, sure. I don't know.
So that is the story here, is that because Dustin Rhodes, like without the face paint and stuff, he's been coming out on Impact being like, I'm as scared of Black Rain as you guys are. I don't know him. You know, Black Rain may have attacked Kaz and bloodied him, but that was not me. That was Black Rain. But Kaz doesn't believe this. He doesn't accept that. So Kaz is beating up on Dustin Rhodes, and Dustin's like, "Wait, Kaz, what are you doing? What are you doing? I haven't done anything to you. That was a different guy." And then he asks, Dustin does, for an apology, and then Kaz says, "You can apologize to this dick," or whatever he says, and now we have this match. And again, whatever. It was a whatever match. Black Rain hits the blackout for a 2 count, and then goes for the curtain call, but Kaz flips over right into the wave of the future for the 1, 2, 3. So Kaz defeats Black Rain, and then he puts Black Rain's rat on top of Black. Well, it's in his cage, but he puts the cage on his chest. Haha, got you. But then he takes the cage with Misty, Dustin's or Black Rain's cat, or not cat, his rat, his Arctic fox. Kaz steals Misty the rat from Black Rain. My goodness.
Let's repeat that so the people in the back that did not hear that right. Kaz, professional wrestler Kaz, future TNA World Heavyweight Champion, stole a rat from Black Rain, which is the worst incarnation of Dustin Runnels ever. Why? Because we're going to turn it from silver to white. Because reasons.
Is that what he does to the rat?
That is what I remember it being. It went from a silver fox to a white rat, and I'm like, what? Why? Is this supposed to be like it's purified or some like that? I don't know. It was really weird when it happened. This was one of those Russo deals where he just wrote something down and it's like, okay, we're doing this, make it work. And they're like, how do we explain it? I don't know, bro. They're not going to question it, bro. It's fine, bro. So just like you had the narcotic or whatever the fuck that thing was that you poisoned Abyss with, you were just like, oh, somebody's going to know what that is. And you're just like, oh, I put the blank in the coffee. It's like, oh, somebody's going to know what that is. Yeah. No, you have to explain certain things. You can't just be like, oh, this happened because reasons.
Man,
this match was stupid.
I didn't think it could get worse, but he turns the rat into a mouse. Is what it sounded like.
It sounds like it or something like that. Also, I gave this matchup a C. I feel like I should have given it a lower grading, but this was a nothing match. I think we need to move on from this. Black Rain.
I think we have 45 more minutes on this match. So
a full hour just to talk about Black Rain and Kaz.
Maybe that deserves its own episode. You might be right. Well, geez, the hits just keep on coming because we go backstage. Jeremy Borash is back there with Kurt Angle and Karen Angle.
Horny Jeremy. That's all I can say about this version of Jeremy Borash.
He's kind of become the third Angle here in some sorts. He considers himself a part of the family.
It's 100% true.
He's Jeremy Borash, the interviewer. He's all worked up. He's like, all we've done for AJ, and he can't commit to aligning with us. And then Kurt's like, we? Who's we? You're an interviewer. Now, what are we going to do with Christian? So he doesn't want to share Karen, but he wants Borash's help and, defeating Christian, which is just, peak Angle is just, the comedy timing is just perfect. And Karen says, don't worry, guys. I'm going to go take care of business, which seems to happen almost every pay-per-view in this era, is that Kurt Angle has an issue with somebody, and then Karen's like, I'm going to go fuck them and solve this issue. Which maybe, I don't know. It's foreshadowing. Maybe works.
You know, I will say this. There is going to come a point we're going to circle back to this because I think I might know the reason why Kurt Angle is so adamant of being like, oh yeah, whatever, just do what you want.
Yeah.
Although it is funny where he's fine with that, but when it comes to Jeremy, he's just like, you trying to fuck my wife? Get back here.
Perk angle, peak angle? Nah, it's cuck angle, I think.
Cuck angle.
Thoughts, folks?
I love it.
Well, more on that later, I suppose. But finally some delicious fucking food. We got the TNA Women's Knockout Championship on the line in a no disqualification match.
Woo!
The champion, Gail Kim, defending against Awesome Kong. My goodness. I mean, just like 2008, beginning of 2008, just to remind people of the context, like women's wrestling is nothing at this point. I would argue maybe like the most down period, because even like Attitude Era into Ruthless Aggression, you had some good stuff with like Trish and Lita and all that stuff. 2008, I don't even know what the hell was happening in 2008. Maybe it was like Beth Phoenix, Candice Michelle type stuff or something, but man, women were not getting marquee spots on pay-per-views. And this was not just a case of like, oh, let's give them a spot for charity. No, these ladies went out there and tore the house down, I thought.
Absolutely. The core memory when I think of like great women's rivalries are usually between Trish and Lita, Charlotte and Becky, and Gail Kim and Awesome Kong. Those are like the top three that I could see. I mean, I would also throw Charlotte and Rhea in there too, because their match at WrestleMania 39 was so fucking awesome. But when you look at like somebody basically just making women's wrestling mean something more than what's been in the past, Kong and Kim definitely deserve a spot on that list.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I would argue this is probably the real beginning of the women's revolution here.
Absolutely.
And especially in TNA, man, like women, like even you hear it in like interviews and stuff, and the stuff with like Miss Brooks later, and like women are still very objectified here, which like whatever. I'm all for comedy and stuff, but it's like, man, that's just like the portrayal of women in TNA has been pretty rough. But to see Gail Kim and Awesome Kong just overcome that and arguably have the match of the show here, I think is something to be I mean, they kicked off what would go on to be a really good period for women's wrestling in TNA, because they had to set the bar high from having no title, no division, to all of a sudden having a division, and I think that they set the bar really well here. They did have a match at the previous pay-per-view Turning Point, which was a DQ finish. I believe Awesome Kong just was choking Gail in the corner or something and didn't let go, and then she hit the ref, and it was whatever. It was a schmozzy kind of finish. But now we have no DQ, and Gail. I mean, my main takeaway here is that Awesome Kong just feels like a legit monster here, and I thought they did a really good job at illustrating that. What'd you think of this match?
I actually loved it. This was a very I think there was a part of it, like younger me when I did this, said that this is probably the second better match that they had. For some reason, I felt like the first one that they did at Turning Point was still really good, even with the schmozz finish, as you said.
Yeah.
This one, it just put it up to the next level. And then they have a third bout, which happened later in the week, which we'll probably get to that.
I remember that being the best of their series.
Yeah. These women just have such great chemistry with each other. It's one of those things where you don't think that, lightning in the bottle will strike with certain people. But then when you find two people where it just hits, you're just like, okay, we need more of this. We need to make this into something really good. And they always made their matches just absolutely can't miss.
Yeah. I mean, they basically, if I remember correctly, I think on Impact, they main evented with their third match, which is just a testament to how good their series was, up to that point, which obviously had never been done in TNA to that point. So that was very history making.
They made events on Spike TV too, which Spike TV is basically the man's channel. And you have two women going out there beating the shit out of each other for a championship belt.
Yeah.
And there are people that are like, yeah, this is fucking hardcore. This is awesome.
No, yeah, it's really good. I mean, a hot start here. Awesome Kong's dominating a lot in the beginning. A sick giant swing into the barricade. They fight in the crowd for a little bit. They get back to the ring. Gail Kim fights back, comes off the top rope to the floor, but Awesome Kong catches her somehow, puts her into the barricade. In the ring, I mean, choke slams. We got Gail countering the choke slam with a roll up, but then Kong counters that into a face plant. Some just good like chain-esque wrestling type stuff here. And then at some point, you know, because it's a blood feud, no DQ match. You know, Kong, she gets a 2 count and she's pissed off at the ref, Slick Johnson, and then she just power bombs the referee into oblivion. And then takes a chair because that's not enough apparently, and then chair shots the ref in the back as he's down. And then Gail Kim grabs the chair. So, I mean, a few brutal chair shots to the head of Awesome Kong, which the concept of a woman hitting a woman with a chair to the head in 2008 was just unheard of, but it worked really well here. I mean, the much smaller Gail Kim using the chair to get the advantage. Big splash off the top rope. There's no referee. New ref gets in there. 1, 2, kick out. Good drama going on here. Gail goes for her like straight jacket neck breaker, but Kong counters it into a choke slam. 1, 2, kick out. Then Kong powerbombs the second ref, because fuck that guy also, I guess. And Kong goes to powerbomb the second ref, but then Gail Kim takes advantage of this distraction and rolls up Kong for the quick 1, 2, 3. Gail wins. A fun finish, I thought. And again, just a really fun match.
Yeah, it's crazy because how they did this finish was incredible. Like you said, you literally have Kong has the referee up and Gail Kim does the roll up as she has her up, and the referee just comes down as we get this roll up pin. It's such a really unique spot that I never thought I'd see, but it was just really awesome because it caught Kong off guard. And honestly, you could almost make this situation be like, well, I mean, she got distracted by the referee by being a monster or something like that. And also, who knows? Maybe the referee also had a little weight that caused Kong to lose her balance or something. Who knows at this point?
Oh, I see.
I don't know. I'm making random excuses, but also props to Slick Johnson, who, my God, first of all, one of the best referees to ever wear shorts. Secondly, taking that beating from Awesome Kong like a champ. Dude is a fucking legend.
Who gave Slick Johnson the permission to wear shorts? That's not the code.
I'm about to say
me off every time,
bro.
He's trying to get himself over. Fuck you and your dumb calves, Slick Johnson.
Hey, to be fair, he had a very unique performance at that Bound for Glory where he got immediately eliminated by Petey Williams.
Very good. Fuck him. But yeah, so good job by those ladies. We'll talk more about that in future eps, I'm sure. But man, we go backstage. Jeremy Borash and Karen Angle. So you go from women just being athletically impressive, going to war. Next segment, Karen backstage in the men's bathroom. She finds AJ because she got a tip that's where AJ goes to prepare for his matches, which that just opens up a lot of questions.
No kidding. Oh, no. Trust me. It opens more questions when we get further into the segment.
Yeah, because Karen, she walks into the bathroom and AJ's in there. He's like, Karen, there's the men's bathroom. And Karen's like, don't worry. And then she backs him up into the stall, kisses him on the neck a little bit, rubs his belly button, twirls her finger through his happy trail. And then she's like, I know you're going to make the right decision later. And if you do, there's more where that came from. And then she walks out and AJ's like, oh, she really likes me, JB. Because by the way, JB's in there also because he got to be in there with the mic, I guess. And then so Karen leaves, AJ's in there. And then who walks out of the stall? If you remember.
I do remember.
Tell me.
It's one dirty bimbo, ODB. This is the opposite of that Parents episode where where the girl walks out of the stall. She's like, am I in the wrong room? And then oh gosh, what's his name? The brace kid was just like, nothing makes sense anymore.
Well, that's a core memory you just unlocked.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it was AJ Francis. That's who it was. Okay. Oh my god.
AJ Francis.
AJ and Francis. I think AJ was the one with the braces.
Like Top Dollar?
Or is it Chester and AJ? There we go.
I thought it was AJ Francis and
AJ,
the Fairly Odd Parents.
Wow. Okay, so I had one right. I don't know how Dud Flop got involved with this, but then again, maybe he was the one that went dead frog.
I blame Dinkelberg personally, but
fuck Dinkelberg and fuck the oceans.
Just keep note. So ODB's dropping logs behind them, I guess, as they're canoodling, and then you would think this is like a kind of a goofy throwaway segment, but it's pretty pivotal in the main event finish, ultimately, which it's wild. It's wild. At least I would assume so. But again, more on that later. But until then, I mean, this is a roller coaster of a show. We got Abyss versus Judas Macias, of course, with James Mitchell by his side. What's the secret, Nate? Abyss has a secret, and James Mitchell wants Abyss to tell the world what he's been hiding his entire life. I'm assuming it's that. I don't totally remember. I'm assuming James Mitchell is his father.
It might have been that, but I like to go one further and say like the secret is that Abyss knew about Lucha Underground. So Judas Macias was trying to be like, where is it? I need to be Mil Muertes. Abyss like, no, I'll never tell you. You'll have a successful career. No, we can't have that.
You gotta find the what do they call the arena? The Aztec. No, hold on. I got it. It's in California. Something Heights maybe. Lucha.
Yeah, it's Boyle Heights. Gosh, what's the name of the arena?
Ooh, Boyle Heights. I think that's it, isn't it? Oh, that's a city.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember
Google. The Temple.
Oh, the Temple. Oh.
The Temple in Boyle Heights. Lucha Underground. It's my Dario, or what's his name? Cueto?
You have Dario Cueto.
Dario Cueto, yeah.
Nobody will ever search the name of Dario Cueto. I don't care even if he's doing stuff in MLW right now. That's
not canon. That's not canon.
That is true. That's true. The original Dario Cueto is dead. I don't know who this imposter is.
Maybe it's the dead one from season 4. I don't know. But or the dad or grandpa, I don't know. It's a weird time.
It's his identical twin brother.
Man, if there's anything out there that can compete with the ridiculousness of late 2000s TNA, it's season 4 of Lucha Underground. Let me tell you.
Yes. That's really good shit. But oh gosh, this match, I get what they were trying to do. I just feel like this was a bit of a whiff. It wasn't like a miss. It was just kind of like when kids are playing t-ball and they only like whiff the ball, you hear it make a little contact, but it still misses the bat. That's what I kind of feel like this was.
Yeah, I mean, like visually looks like a cool matchup. You got Abyss, who's Abyss, the mask, the leather, and you got Judas Macias, who is Mil Muertes without a mask, kind of just a big, thick, handsome devil, I guess, with blood coming out of his mouth for some reason. And then James Mitchell's with them. It's like, oh wow, it's spooky, is cool. We got a lot of lore to this. But the match itself, it was a whatever match. Again, not a terrible match, I thought. I just don't think it really matched the intensity of the feud. There's maybe my favorite part of this match is Abyss, because it's not a no DQ match, but Abyss grabs a chair, which comes into play later. But Abyss grabs the chair, wedges it in the corner, you know how they do, between like the second and third turnbuckle.
Yeah.
And the ref is like, no, you can't do that. So the ref goes over to this chair and tries to unpry the chair, and he's like, oh, I can't get it. And he like throws his hands up in the air. He's like, well, I guess it's got to stay there because it's just locked in there so tight. And then Abyss ends up throwing Judas into it, which I guess is not grounds for DQ, because I guess it's similar to like steel steps, where you can whip somebody into a weapon, but you can't use the weapon with your hands to hit them. I think that's the rule. Am I correct or am I incorrect there?
Referee discretion. That's basically what this
Okay. You can't just fall back into that, but maybe you can. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, there's a barbed wire chair that gets brought into the equation, of course. And of course the ref does not take too kindly to that. So the ref takes it. He's like, oh, ouch, ouch, ouch. Gingerly disposes of it. But then this allows Judas Macias to hit a huge chair shot with the regular chair onto the head of Abyss, right behind the referee, who I guess didn't hear this chair shot. And after that, we just get some Mitchell shenanigans towards the end. Abyss Okay, this part of the match really pissed me off. Didn't piss me off. It was more just hilarious because Abyss grabs James Mitchell, who's on the apron, pulls Mitchell into the ring. And it's at this point, because Judas is laid out, the ref goes into his pocket, pulls out what I would presume is like a mist packet, a packet for Judas to spray his mist light, but it's so clumsy and just in the middle of the frame. The ref reaches into his pocket, pulls it out, his pocket comes undone, so it's like inside out. He weirdly crawls over to Judas, gets on his knees. There's no reason for him to go check on Judas, but he just goes over to Judas, very obviously hands it to him. And then, ultimately we get, Judas with a miss to the face of Abyss. And then he hits the flatliner on the barbed wire chair for the win. So clunky match. I think there's a reason Judas Macias didn't hang around too much longer. Any other thoughts on this one?
C matchup. I almost gave it a D in my reviewing on it because it's just kind of a nothing deal. I will say this, that as much as I wanted to say that this was the worst matchup of the night, I thought to myself, oh, wait, no, there's one more that actually is the worst matchup to come. So this one's not as bad. This one was kind of like Shawn and Vader compared to what the next matchup's going to be. Which I know, high praise, Shawn and Vader. Jeez Louise. It's like, well, which one are you talking about? The answer, yes.
Yes, absolutely. But you might think we're done here. But boy, howdy, we're not. Because, again, to kind of harken back to the feud here, because obviously James Mitchell was the former manager of Abyss. But then Abyss started straight. He started having his own thoughts and his own desires, and James Mitchell did not approve of that, so he's been after him, trying to find another guy to be his man to take down Abyss. And then Mitchell finds Judas Macias, and then, by the way, this feud started several months ago, but then Judas went down with a back injury for a little bit, so they just paused it, and then we just had some Abyss Black Rain nonsense for a little bit. Now we're back, and then and again, the whole foundation is that James Mitchell knows something about Abyss that the world does not know, but he wants Abyss to be the one to tell everybody. So after the match, Judas gets the win, and then Mitchell's like, hey, Judas, grab that ingrate. So Judas grabs Abyss, who's been laid out, bloody. James Mitchell he says, Chris, who's Abyss's real name, Chris, are you ready to tell the truth? And then Abyss shakes his head no. And then Mitchell's like, well, you know what I told you, Chris. Little boys who don't tell the truth will burn in hell. So Mitchell grabs a gas tank. Dude. I mean, drenches Abyss with, I don't know if this is actual, whatever, but just drenches Abyss with this gas tank. And then Mitchell pulls out a box of matches, and then finally security comes out to wrangle him. By the way, they don't take Mitchell and Judas out. They just grab the matches. 12 security guards are like, hey, whoa, I'll go get that box. All right, continue. And
they're fine with the whole gas deal in there, but when you start threatening to pull out the matches, oh, hey, hang on, whoa, hey, let's not go Hogan and Warrior here. Come on. Man.
Man, I didn't think we'd get a Hogan Warrior comparison to this match, but we found it. We found it.
There's flames, there's duds, so it kind of makes sense. And then it's revealed on Impact that James Mitchell says, you have a twin brother named Joseph Parks, and he is going to be the savior of TNA. And Chris is like, no. No, that's not what it is.
Oh, I was about to say, Jesus Christ, is that what it is?
No, but that would be kind of funny now.
I was about to say, it's a little early for that, but that does become a thing for whatever reason. Well, kind of, but so yeah, so nobody's set on fire here. Abyss doesn't tell the secret, because why would you want any payoff to this feud? Guess you got to tune in on Impact, brother, to maybe find out. Who knows? Who knows?
Maybe he just wants to burn in hell for all we know. He wants to come back as Kane and then show up and have an underwhelming match with the other Kane.
Man, what could have been? What could have been?
I know.
Well, we go backstage. Crystal, the interviewer, is back there with Kevin Nash.
Ooh, big sexy.
Big sex in the flesh. So, to recap, everybody, we are fresh off of Turning Point 2007, which is where that infamous shoot, quote-unquote, promo from Samoa Joe, where he's, running down the old guard, the Kevin Nashes of the world, the Scott Halls of the world. There's superstars and there's wrestlers. There's guys that they're busting their ass here, trying to make a statement in TNA. And then there's people just collecting a paycheck. So that he had that whole deal. But apparently they've made amends. And Kevin Nash and Samoa Joe are going to be teaming together tonight to fight for the tag team titles. And Crystal's trying to get the scoop from Nash. Like, are you guys good? And then Nash is like, yeah. And that's it. So it's like...
I got paid, so it's fine.
The segment really is hilarious. Like, you gotta watch it to really like feel the comedy of this, because she's like, "Are you guys are all good now, right?" And Kevin's like, "Yeah, whatever. It's this happens in wrestling. It's happened before. It's whatever. I'm just here to make money. We're all cool. We're cool."
It's Kevin Nash doing his best RVD impression, basically. He's trying to get cool and whatever over, but it's not working until RVD comes in a couple of years later.
Rob Van Dam! Oh, fuck that theme song, dude.
Big sexy.
That could have worked.
Oh my god, that actually works.
Diesel!
Diesel! Beep, beep. Oh my god, that'd be so great if your soundboards work and just have the Diesel going on.
I'll edit in post. No, I won't.
Oh my god.
So yeah, Kevin Nash is setting up for the tag team match, which it's you watch this and you're under the impression that like, oh yeah, they are cool. There's no way this could end badly. Right. Well, we'll find out later.
Vince Booking 101. Hey, question: can we just not talk about this next match?
You talking about the mixed tag team match?
Damn it, we have to talk about it now.
Between the team of Robert Roode and Miss Brooks versus Booker T and Sharmell.
Oh, I never thought that there would be another match that I would look at and think, oh, Sharmel's wrestling. My standards are low.
Hey, not her worst match.
True. She's only had 3, I think. So
this might be number 1.
Oh god, now that I think about it, you might be right.
Because
number 1, you might be right.
Well, you might be asking yourself, how did we get here? Well, Robert Roode and the whole turmoil between those two, it seems like it's been just years. Just Robert Roode berating Miss Brooks, who is his assistant, secretary, whatever the hell. And Miss Brooks is like, I don't support this. I don't support what you're doing. And Rude's like, I own your contract. You do what I say. You're my slave. It's like, all right. So that's just been happening for way too long. But Sharmel's here. And she's like, hey, I don't appreciate how you're treating her, Robert Roode. And then Robert Roode's like, hey, you're a skank. You're a whore. You and Booker. I think Booker met you on the street corner. This is all things he's actually saying on Impact. And of course, Booker T is like, hey, I don't think I support that. So we have this match here. Mixed tag team action. Well, it's mainly Booker T versus Robert Roode with some ladies on the apron, I would say.
I wouldn't even consider that to be a Robert Roode Booker T match, because I think I mentioned in this match, there's like nothing that happens between Roode and Booker. You don't get like a lot of Booker T's signature stuff in here. You just...
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's literally the most blandish. I've seen I've seen these two wrestles, and they could wrestle pretty well. They have some like decent to good matches. This was literally like, okay, we're gonna give you a nice meal. It's just a saltine chip. That's what I feel like this match was.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think it's setting up for the angle at the end of this. But yeah, the actual bell-to-bell stuff, there wasn't a lot going on. It was more like, this match is more about the conflict between Robert Roode and Tracy because, again, Tracy Brooks doesn't, want to help Roode cheat or anything. So Robert, he'll be like distracting the ref. He'll have Booker T set up for Tracy to slap Booker T, but then she won't do it. And this happens a few times, and then Roode's like, do what I say or you're fired or whatever the hell happens. And then ultimately we get some reluctant like slaps from Tracy to Booker, and then she trips him up at some point, but is like clearly distraught. She's like, she doesn't want to do this. But then the women get tagged in at some point. I think Roode like accidentally tags in Tracy, and then she gets in, then Sharmell gets in, and then they cat fight, which doesn't make a lot of sense because Sharmell's looking to like help Tracy. So why are they fighting? You know what I mean?
My gosh, I'm probably gonna sound like a misogynistic person for saying
Please.
this, but I feel like it's in the human nature for men and women to just fight over the smallest of things. And I feel like it's literally one of those things where something must have happened where maybe they just maybe Miss Brooks said something like, oh, you're not a wrestler, even though you're married to one, you're not that good behind the scenes or something like that to get Sharmell flared up. Or maybe Sharmell said something just like, you know what, at least mine are natural, yours aren't, or some bullshit like that. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, there's probably so many better reasons than this, but it's one of those things where like, I feel like I'm just going off of human instincts of just being like, something happened, very small, they're fighting, who cares?
I mean, you're with this, era of wrestling, you're probably not wrong. It could have been just a quick little quirk like that, and then now we're cat fighting, and ultimately it ends up with Sharmell rolling up Tracy for the 1, 2, 3. So Sharmell gets the win here on pay-per-view, and Booker and Sharmell win, and then of course, as you would imagine, Bobby Roode, not too happy with this. He's pissed off at Tracy. You cost us the match. You're worthless. You're a piece of shit. Tracy's had enough. She slaps Roode, starts wailing punches on him. Roode, obviously, he's not going to fight back. He won't hit a woman. But Roode corners Tracy, really scolding her, really laying it into her verbally. And then Sharmell sees this, slides in the ring, trying to rip Bobby Roode off of Tracy. Roode turns around, punches Sharmell in the face, sends her all the way across the ring. The Family Guy bump that she took was just sensational. But then Roode, I guess he thought it was like a security guy, or he thought it was Booker. So he's immediately like regretful. He's like, oh no, I didn't mean to. He's distraught. He's upset. Booker's eyes, because he's at the top of the stage, he sees this. Booker's eyes are as open as any eyes I've ever seen. He storms to the ring, checks on Sharmell. Roode runs away. And really somber tone here. I mean, Don West gets up from the broadcast booth to check on Tracy. We got security. I think it's not Tracy. Sharmell. Sharmell gets, I think she gets put in a neck brace, if I remember correctly. Like very serious, very, very big right hand from Bob Roode.
It is really funny because they mentioned that Spike TV doesn't condone the whole male on female violence kind of deal. Obviously, on pay-per-view, you can get away with it more because you don't really have that kind of deal of doing it. But I like to imagine that Roode was just like, you know what? We're on pay-per-view. I can hit you all I want. Get out of here. Oh, crap. I just hit a woman, and I instantly regret it.
Yeah. Even said in like a promo, he's like, I'm not above putting my hands on a woman, but I guess he didn't want to. Once he did it, he's like, oh, nerds. I really screwed the pooch here. Oh,
that's a problem, eh?
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I'll say I gave this rating a D. This was, like I said, the worst match of the night. Just literally nothing except for the post match. Even that, I mean, you mentioned the fact that she did like a Family Guy bump. You literally, Rebecca Hickenbottom took a better hit than Charmel did from Bobby Roode. And the funny thing is that they were both hit by a Canadian. It's just apparently when Jericho did it, it felt it looked real, and basically Rebecca took that like a champ. When Charmel took one from a Canadian, she had to be like over the top for some reason. I don't know.
I enjoyed the bump. I'm gonna fight back. That bump was sensational by Queen Charmel. I mean, just like she got shot out of a cannon. Just goosh. Great stuff.
You also mentioned the classic Booker T look of his eyes just spewing out. I mean, some of his best stuff has always been like his eyes just pop out, whether it's Goldust stuff or just him doing some crazy promo. Just when you have his eyes spurting out, you're in for something special. I will give this moment that it gave us the Booker T meme. So,
do you think this maybe this is thinking about it too much? I'm wondering if this is like what sparks Booker T joining the Main Event Mafia. It's like, we got this new breed of wrestlers beating my wife. That's not how he sounds. They beat my wife.
Beat my wife. Sound like Big Dog from New Legacy. He's like, oh, you beat my wife? It's the great Chavo Guerrero. Oh, I need Jillian Hall on here. But honestly, the way that you structure it, it does kind of make sense, honestly, because he does kind of go on a bit of a deal after this feud with Rude of being like, young punk asses don't respect, veteran stuff. Like, that's where he gets into the feud with Samoa Joe, which draws in Sting, and then Kurt Angle gets kind of into that whole spiel. So you might be right. This might be secretly the seed that gets put in the ground of what would eventually be the rose that is Main Event Mafia.
Which honestly, kind of like they're putting effort into like the backstory and the motivations of these guys. So it makes sense if that's what it ends up being. But
although you could also make the case that happens with Kevin Nash at Turning Point after the Joe promo,
right?
But
which I think kind of feeds into all of this, right? Because you have the Nash stuff we're about to talk about. I think it's all the seeds are being planted on this show, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's some deep thinking, and I appreciate that. That is something that I never even thought of, and I like that.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But after that, we're backstage once again with Crystal, this time interviewing Christian Cage.
Woo!
Who is going to be in the main event tonight, challenging for the TNA title against Kurt Angle. And because, again, we're right after this. I can't emphasize this enough, like how somber and serious the tone was when Charmel got punched. It's the arena's very quiet. Commentary is very like depressed. The medical team, they stretcher her out, and then they cut to this interview, and Crystal's like, "Oh, I can't believe what we just saw with Charmel getting hit. What do you think, Christian?" And Christian's like, yeah. It's so tragic. Whatever. Let's talk about me.
You know what? Christian's the only one that can make that work. I can't think of anybody in that position that could make that brush off deal. Just be like, yeah, okay, whatever. We're moving on to this deal.
He's the best.
Christian is so fucking good. And I will say this is the moment that I was going to talk about with Kurt, because Christian talks about having this matchup he's going to have in the bag, and basically makes a comment about Karen. And it was at that moment I thought to myself, so what you're implying here, sir, is that Karen can't get Kurt hard, but Kurt being the world heavyweight champion is what gets his rocks off. I believe that.
I think so.
I believe that. That was the realization I got after this promo. I was like, you know what, Christian, you might be onto something, because Kurt does pride that championship more than anything else.
And then he caps it off. He's like, Karen, he can't make his husband hard anymore. And he says he starts to say that. He's like, Karen can't make his husband. I'll put it like this. The only thing tonight that's going to be hard is slinking back to your husband, telling him you failed, and that there's going to be a new world champion tonight. Like the way he words it and threads it and builds up to the main event. I mean, he's just he's sensational.
Christian Cage is great. until we get to the final segment. It's part of this deal where he has the catchphrase of, if you don't know, now you know. And I was just banging my head on the wall like, no.
He tried to get that over.
He did. And I hated every single minute of it. I was like, this is the stupidest catchphrase that anybody could. I don't care who you are. You could be The Rock. You could be Austin. You can be Hulk Hogan. You can be Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage. It doesn't matter. This is not going to work. This is one of those few times where a catchphrase just needs to be buried in the ground.
Especially like what he's referencing, the song. Like there's a very crucial final word that obviously he can't say. And I feel like you need that final word for it to, have effect. But maybe you should have said it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just commit to it. But no. But we move on from oh man, we got round 2.
Yeah.
Wait, is this round 2 or was there?
This is round 2.
What was round 2? Did I skip it in my notes somewhere?
So round 2 was basically them drinking to the point where one of them pisses their pants.
Oh, that's right. It's Edward 40 Hands. There you go. I just mistyped round 3. Okay, yeah. Round 2, Edward 40 Hands. Which, have you played Edward 40 Hands there, Nate?
I can't say that I have.
I've played it a few times. It was a good go-to in college because what you do, for those unfamiliar, is that you take 2 40-ounce beers and you duct tape them to your hands. And you can't unduct tape them until you finish both 40-ounce beers, which is a challenge. I mean, you gotta drink them fast because if you don't, 1, you're gonna piss your pants. 2, they're gonna get warm and gross. So you're incentivized to just chug 80 ounces of shitty malt liquor, and that's what we got here. We got 4 40s taped to both of their hands. And also, if you spill your beer, you lose, which James Storm does because he's getting pissed at Eric. I forget exactly why, but he's like, hey, what are you doing? And all his beer spills everywhere and he pisses his pants. So Eric Young, I guess, wins round 2 via Edward 40 Hands.
Yay, we get to go to round 3.
Thank God. Didn't want to see a clean sweep there. So we will have the finals later in the show. But until then, we got what I might say is the match of the night.
Agreed.
We got an Ultimate X 6-man tag team match. We got the team of Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns taking on the team of Johnny Devine and Team 3D. Wacky lineup there. On paper, it's like, oh, this isn't going to be good, especially with the story of because Jay Lethal is the X Division champion, but the Dudley Boys have stolen the title and they have possession of it. And they're going to hang the X Division title from the top of the cables. And whoever grabs it even though Jay Lethal's the champion regardless, you happen to have possession of it if you win this match, which that's a whole dumb thing. But ultimately, the match was really fun. I thought the lead up was, I guess, first of all, before we even get to the match, I just love logistically what they had to do here because they did not have the cables set up to this point in the show. And those for unfamiliar with Ultimate X, it's a X cable above the ring, and there's trusses on the corners of the ring. So they have to set up these cables, which apparently takes a very long time because, I mean, the show just came to a halt for a little bit. Commentary had to vamp, kind of building up to this match. And, but they eventually got it. And I don't know, just overall thoughts on this whole deal, this whole package that we got here.
The package is very
great package.
Very good. And it does really just lay out everything that is what this feud is all about. And honestly, the only way that they could top this matchup was the following match, which was their 6-man tag street fight. And that was really good. But the whole deal, like you said, is literally Team 3D just want to destroy the X Division. They want to do it by any means necessary. And how they kind of do this is that they take possession of the X Division title first. Then they have one of their own cohorts in the X Division turn on them and join
the turncoat.
He's a turncoat, yeah. He joins up with Team 3D. I mean, I'm sure they would have gotten, Brother Runt, but I'm sure he was busy with something else, or he was semi-retired or something like that. honestly, if they would have gotten Runt involved, I think this would have been a lot cooler. But
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from Johnny Devine, especially when it comes to this matchup. Holy shit.
I mean, MVP. Gotta
Right. Oh yeah. But yeah, they like Kyle said, they challenged him to an Ultimate X matchup, which for those of you that don't know the rules, you have to climb across these wires to get possession of what is in the center, whether it's an X or the championship. Here's the problem is that they only have one person that can do that, because on the recent Impact, Team 3D took the Motor City Machine Guns, put their hands on a table, and then they Singapore caned their wrists. So basically the guns are not able to have that upper body strength to hold on or even grasp the cables.
Yeah.
So this was ingenious. This is one of the few things on there where it's like, ooh, they're really trying to stack the odds against these guys, where Jay Lethal's the only one that can actually, get to the center. And also, this is still Black Machismo Jay Lethal, which
Yes.
I still love to this day. I think it's a great character for him. But yeah, he's the only one that could do it. Meanwhile, Team 3D has all three of their members, although if people know from history, one of the members is deathly afraid of heights. So it's actually more like two people.
Well, it's really one, because there's two guys, the Dudleys, that can't climb the cables because they're too fat.
What are you talking about, Kyle? They even said in a promo before the matchup that they're in peak physical condition. Brother Ray said so. He would never lie. He would never blow up about anything. He would never turn coat on somebody like Hulk Hogan. Oh, wait, maybe that was
Yeah, Bubba, before the match, after they set up the cables, which goes into what I was saying about like the logistics of this, because you have to hang the title from the cables, obviously, to start the match. And I think this whole promo was just to like fill time so that Johnny Devine could go up there and hang the title for them, because they couldn't just have like a stagehand like climb the cables and hang the title, because you gotta portray that the wrestlers are the only ones. I guess they could have gotten the ladder and hung it, maybe, but
spoilers, sir.
yeah, just a little, or foreshadowing, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, Bubba's like, yeah, we're in the best shape of our lives. I can move like a gazelle. My brother Devon is moving like a Black Panther. Holds up the fist. And randomly also calls SoCal Val a tramp, which felt uncalled for, which her and Black Machismo are having a bit of a romantic partnership of sorts. So I guess just trying to get under Machismo's skin. And then the match, the guns come out, Lethal comes out, they sprint to the ring, hot start, pairing off all around the ring. They're fighting everywhere. And then, as you mentioned, kind of alluding to the machine guns, all four of their hands, I guess, are broken or very injured. So when they try to climb the cables, as Shelly does here, he tries to climb it, but he can't. He falls to the mat. Sabin does the same thing. Lethal, now the only member that can climb the cables for the team, does, but then Johnny Devine pulls him down, catches him right into a Death Valley driver. Beautiful. And then we get maybe the ending of the career, maybe, of Johnny Devine through concussions, I would have to assume. Because Johnny Devine climbs the cables, working his way towards the middle. The machine guns are back up. They grab Devine by the ankles, pendulum swing him, make him do like a shooting star press, but then he lands on his fucking top of his head on the mat. God, yikers.
I would say that's probably it's one of the more brutal spots in an Ultimate X match. I still think that the AJ Styles spot is the most brutal one. The one where he just flips in midair and just falls flat. This one's definitely high up there.
Yeah, it's definitely. Then the Dudleys, because the whole thing here is obviously the Dudleys they're big old guys, not built for this match. By the way, I should also say this stipulation, the Machine Guns actually won this stipulation on Impact. They had of course, it was a pole match. On one pole, it was Ultimate X. On the other pole, it was a glass table match. And whoever won the pole match got to have their own stipulation on this pay-per-view, which is how we've gotten here, which puts the Dudleys at a severe disadvantage because as you can see, they don't want to climb. They're scared of climbing. They're just trying to jump like from the mat to grab the belts because they're big dumb idiots.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember the one spot when Devon is just on all fours and he's just basically telling Brother just to climb up on him? Brother just takes 1 foot on Devon and Devon just falls flat.
And then like before that, Bubba's trying to like boost Devon up with his hands.
Oh, the cheerleader spot, yes.
Yes. And they're both like, no, you're too fat. We can't do this. We gotta find another way. Which is just, they're literally mocking each other, like doing pantomiming like they're big guts. Like it's a lot of fun.
Oh, it gets better when we get to the Shark Boy and Curry Man bits.
Oh, what a sentence. What a sentence you just said. But the Dudleys, they're like, well, we might as well just beat on these guys for a little bit more. So they once again smash the hands of the machine guns with a kendo stick on a table. Maybe it was just on the apron here. But they're further injuring the hands of the guns to assure that they cannot climb. But you would think they would do that to Jay Lethal instead here. No, so that you have nobody able to climb, but I digress. Who am I? Who am I to, dictate their strategy? But Devon, very smartly, they finally figure it out. Devon gets up on the top rope. Bubba carries Devon. Devon puts his feet on Bubba's shoulders, and then they scoot across the cables to try to get there. But then Sabin with a super kick to Bubba, which knocked, and then the whole tower comes tumbling down. Bubba then puts Johnny Devine on his shoulders, and then Lethal with a poison Rana to Johnny Devine off of the shoulders of Bubba, and then once again landing on the top of his head, Johnny Devine. And it's at this point, I guess Devine's dead. Dudley's, what do? They pull out a ladder. Because of course they do. Which I don't think is against the rules, no?
Well, hold on, because there is actually a ref bump that happens beforehand with this spot.
Right.
So that's when they break out the ladder. And
so maybe
this is where Mike Tenay and Don West, they said that, well, it's basically implied. It's one of those unwritten code deals where you're not supposed to use the ladder to get to the Ultimate X. But in this case, the referee's down, so those rapscallions, Team 3D, just to say, oh, referee's down, so we can kind of cheat here.
So they pull out the ladder, they set it up underneath the belt. The machine gun's in there to thwart them. Double enziguris to the Dudleys. Johnny Devine's back in. He's not dead. He's back. Kendo stick in hand. Climbs the ladder after he takes out the machine guns with the kendo stick. Climbs the ladder. But then the ladder is dumped by, is it Lethal or it's somebody? They dump the ladder, send Johnny Devine. So there's 2 tables set up on the floor, by the way, early in the match. Johnny Devine falls off the ladder onto the tables, not through them, onto the tables. Another brutal bump from Johnny Devine here, just bouncing off of him. And so he's officially out of this match. In the ring, 3D to Chris Sabin. Jay Lethal with a springboard, but the Dudleys toss a ladder at him in midair, which looked brutal. I mean, just as good as that could ever look. Just a cannon of a ladder just tossed at Jay Lethal's face. Devon climbs the ladder, grabs the belt. Ref is still down. Grabs the belt. And then Devon wraps the belt around his arm. Hangs in the middle of the X. Bubba pulls the ladder out from under him, disposes of the ladder, and then the ref comes to, sees Devon and just hanging there with the belt. He's like, oh, I guess you climbed and got it. Ring the bell.
Right then and there should have been a point where the referee's like, how did you do that? I don't know if I believe that.
Can't call what he didn't see,
But also what I love to think is that Devon is just hanging there, one arm on the wire, one arm with the belts. He's just flailing his legs around, just be like, okay, I gotta just ring the bell. I'm scared of heights, damn it.
I was, because it took a while for the ref to come to, so I was hoping he would lose strength and just fall, but did not happen. He hung in there. So they they keep possession of the X Division title belt, I guess. The Dudleys do.
No, I just want there to be a poster where instead of it being like the cat being like, hang in there, baby, it's just Devon hanging by the wires, just being like, hang in there, get me down, brother.
I mean, that's got to be the thumbnail of this episode. I mean, it's just, what an image. What an image.
Like you said, this was the match of the night. I gave it an A. This was so good. The spots that these guys took were just brutal.
Yeah.
The story that they told was just amazing. The comedy spots were just, this is like peak Team 3D. They know that they are just the freaking butt of the jokes here, and they just embraced them. They were like, okay, how can we make these jokes work in the match?
Yeah.
just those 3 spots of trying to do a cheerleader deal, trying to jump off each other's backs, and then trying to do a chicken walk deal. Just, what more can you ask for when it comes to comedy in wrestling? You get those in the match, I feel like you're going to have a match of the year candidate. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, there was a lot of silliness in this match, but it worked. I think the story was pretty well built coming into this. And also, by the way, you got the machine guns, you got Jay Lethal in there, some of the most talented guys on the roster at this point. So, and then getting the rub from Team 3D, and then Johnny Devine's working his ass off in this match. It just all came together really well. Even though this, I mean, part of me is like, I kind of wish we could just have like an X Division title match on the pay-per-view, but maybe this ultimately does more for the title than just a random, like, whatever, Sanjay Dutt versus Jay Lethal match or something. But I don't know.
To be fair, that was a good match. I mean, I think that happened at the last show, which I thought that was good.
Yeah, for sure.
Sanjay's good. Jay Lethal is great. It's just, I'll tell you this right now. I'm in a period where the X Division is kind of in a lull because they did put the belt on Doug Williams, which he's a great athlete. He's really good. It's just, they only had him fighting like Brian Kendrick and Shannon Moore and Sabu. Right. Yes, these 3 are epitomes of the X Division, not Jay Lethal, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Sanjay Dutt, Petey Williams, all these other guys that can do a lot of great shit. Fuck, give me a Douglas Williams and Amazing Red. That would have been a really good match.
Hell yeah, man. Maybe in Ring of Honor or something that happens, but don't know.
Not in TNA, but ooh, I just saw what we got next.
We got a little tag team title match on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen, for the titles. We got the champions, AJ Styles and Tomko, defending against the team of Kevin Nash and Samoa Joe. I mean, just on paper, these names is just hilarious.
Just the most creative tag team wrestling that you could see on like so many different like call formats of like what is it, Wrestling Empire, like you put people in contracts. It's like, who can we put as a tag team? Let's see here, maybe D'Lo Brown and Sheamus against the Godfather and Big Daddy V.
It's like when you randomize WWE 2K universe, and it's like, what the hell? Why do I have Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil as the tag team champions? Like, I guess that was actually a tag team, so maybe that's not a good example. Gator, well, Slater, shout out.
Hey, they were never tag team champions, to be fair. So the fact that we never got Slater Gator as tag team champions is an injustice.
There's still time. There's still time. But yeah, AJ Tomko. I weirdly liked the team of AJ and Tomko. I thought they had a fun little, Shawn Diesel kind of dynamic.
Oh yeah.
Also in this match, you got AJ and Joe going at it, which that's always a treat. And ultimately, this match felt more like a handicap match, I would say, because I don't know if Kevin Nash really did anything.
I was about to say, I wonder why. I mean, not only is it because they also featured 3 athletes and 1 superstar, but also what happens during the matchup, it does feel like it is a handicap match.
Yeah, because like Kevin Nash, like Joe and AJ, I think started out, and then Joe tags in Nash, and Nash does like a few things, and then tags back out, and I don't think we ever see him back in the match. I think that tag in the beginning was just to be like, oh yeah, they are working together again, just kind of just to build off of the Nash promo from earlier. It's like, yeah, we're cool, water under the bridge, we're all set, and then it's a lot of, AJ and Tomko beating up on Joe, we do again get a lot of fun Joe and AJ interactions, the classic like drop down, drop kicks, and all the Joe sentons and all that stuff, the Uranagis. But ultimately, Kevin Nash, Joe, he's fighting back. Big Uranagi to AJ, big Enziguri to Tomko. He's finally able to crawl over. He goes to make the tag on Kevin Nash, and Bob's your uncle. Kevin Nash drops down from the apron. Suck it chop to Samoa Joe and ski daddles. Oh, man. The big sexy. No, why big sex? Why is what I say. Turned on Samoa Joe, which, I mean, I feel like it's kind of warranted given the Joe promo from Turning Point, but I digress. But again, more seeds being planted for a potential main event Mafia. Disrespectful young guys not respecting the old guard, and then this leaves just Joe. A 2-on-1 beatdown from AJ and Tomko, as if that hasn't already been happening in this entire match. But Joe does get some offense in, even hits the muscle buster on AJ. But ultimately, the numbers don't lie. It spells disaster for you at Final Resolution, because Tomko with a big boot, AJ with a big forearm, and then they hit the magic killer onto Samoa Joe for the 1-2-3. AJ and Tomko retain the titles. Honestly, like, this match is probably better than it had any right being given the circumstances. But yeah, just more Nash and Joe turmoil coming out of this.
Yeah, I agree. This was one of those matches that, on paper seems like it could be a car wreck, but by the end of it, it was pretty enjoyable. But also it was because of the fact that, like we kind of said, Samoa Joe, Styles, and Tomko kind of carry the matchup, and Kevin Nash was just kind of there, which, it's his right. He got paid money. And then just during the matchup, he decided, okay, I got my check. I'm clocking out. Good night. And then we got that finish, which was still really good. I mean, honestly, there's a part of me that wants to wonder what it would have been like if Joe did win the match and Kevin Nash and Joe were forced to be tag team champions.
I was watching this. I was like, does that end up actually happening? Because I wouldn't put it past TNA doing that.
That would have been amazing. It does not happen. I mean, the next show, we lose a tag team because James Gang is not long for the world.
But, say it ain't so.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, no, I just would have loved to have seen this unlikely team of Nash and Joe, like kind of like what Team Hell No kind of started with, where they were just almost trying to cost each other matches, but inadvertently caused their team to win until eventually they were the tag team champions.
I am the tag team champions.
No, I'm the tag team champions. Also, I've got a beard. I had a beard. Oh my gosh. Oh
Great
man. I need to watch some Team Hell No segments because that was good shit.
Oh, Dr. Shelby. Shout out. Shout out.
When he freaks out about the Dr. Phil deal is still one of the core memories that I will remember in wrestling. But also the fact they mentioned Dr. Phil on a WWE program is just insane.
What a time. What a time to be alive. And
speaking of being alive, we've got match number 3
of the DCS.
Yes.
On deck here, the finals of the Final Resolution January edition DCS. I missed like what game they were playing. It was some sort of card game. Was it War? Is that what it was called?
Yeah, it was. I think it was the War game where the lowest card had to drink, I believe.
So we're basically just playing drink the beer. So each guy has a deck of cards in front of him, and you flip one, and whichever card is lower has to drink. And I guess the last guy standing wins.
I love that we've got 2 Family Guy references in this episode.
What do you win? Another beer.
Play, drink the beer. I'm in.
And amazingly, Eric Young, because he's undefeated in the DCS up to this point, or not tonight, but I think he's the reigning champion.
Yes.
Eric Young, he bongs a beer, or maybe I think he actually bongs whiskey, which is not a good strat.
No.
He just kind of, his eyes glaze over for a bit, and then he passes out frontwards, face bump onto the floor. James Storm gets the win, 2-1, and is the new DCS champion.
Well, now hold on a second there, son. Hold on, son. There's a little bit of a story there that's missing here. So,
Tell me. Oh, yeah.
As they're drinking the beers and the whiskey and stuff like that, Jacqueline decides to distract basically everybody with her mommy milkers,
chocolate titties,
to the point where even Crystal was like, "Whoa, I think I might actually be gay." So James Storm fills the I want to say like the hose or something like that with this little white powder. We don't know exactly what it was, but it was something enough to
I missed that,
where it makes I can only imagine where your mind was going. I noticed that, and you were just like, "Mommy milk, turn the camera, turn around." I am just a man, but please, chocolate milk is my favorite. but yeah, so James Storm like drugs Eric Young's deal. So after Eric Young takes the drink, there's like a 10-second deal where he, like Kyle said, he's just eyes glazed over, almost like he's going just completely out. Boom, down. James Storm gets to pick the stipulation for the next month's show, or it might be.
Yeah, I think they said the next pay-per-view, I think, against all odds.
Okay. So, yeah, they have that all set up. But it was also at this point in my review that I said, so before we even have the main event announced for next month's show, we have this match announced for next month's show.
I mean, maybe this is the main event. Who knows? Who's to say?
Honestly, if this was the main event, I would have probably been okay with that. I would have been like, you know what? They're putting 2 new people in the main event scene. Why not? Let's push the envelope. Let things go crazy. And then it actually happens. It's like, oh, that monkey paw is not real.
I mean, 2 future world champions, weirdly enough.
100% true. But honestly enough, the one who won got the title first before the one who passed out. So.
Yeah, that's all. I think this is all foreshadowing to that, to your point. So,
geez, so much foreshadowing in this show.
I mean, so many shadows, so many fours, but only one main event. Fortune.
I thought we were going with that, Joe.
I should have.
Only one Fortune 4.
I shot the ball, it airballed, and you just swished it right into the net. Thank God I have you. But we have.
Let's talk about the main event.
The main event on our hands here. We got the world title on the line. The champion, Kurt Angle, defending against Christian Cage. 2 heels, which I think is very interesting. I think Christian's more of the babyface, but he's still definitely just like a dickhead. I thought this was like here's the thing. They've been building to this AJ thing for a month plus probably, even earlier in this show. So going into this that it's like nothing really matters until AJ comes in here and makes his decision. So, but that being said, I mean, Kurt Angle, Christian Cage, even back to their like, I think they fought at Royal or King of the Ring 2001 in the semifinals. Like every match these guys have had with each other has been really good. I thought this was no exception. I thought it was a very good match. And yeah, I mean Christian, there's always so much like shenanigans with Christian Cage matches. But when he just gets in the ring and wrestles, it's just like he's just so good. And obviously Kurt Angle's Kurt Angle. I thought there was some good stuff here. I mean, nothing like particularly that like caught my eye about the match, but I thought this was a really, really good main event. What'd you think about it?
Oh yeah, no, there's like a couple of like some classic spots you see. There's some point where they're just like maneuvering and reversing out of their moves, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
There's an early flapjack spot that Christian does to Kurt Angle, which, oh my God, that looks great. Yeah, like you said, there's a lot of really good chemistry between these 2 guys. Doesn't quite feel like it should be a main event for a pay-per-view, but still feels good to the point where it's like, okay, I can understand why.
Sure, yeah. Kurt Angle, there's a lot of back and forth stuff, a lot of, like Kurt will do his moonsault, Christian does his frog splash. We got a small package reversals, which there's like one spot in this match where it's like there's small package counter into another small package, countered into an ankle lock, countered back to the small package, 1-2 kick out, like really good false finishes throughout this thing. You got obviously the ankle lock being employed a lot by Kurt. Christian breaks out the cloverleaf, which is very interesting. I thought it was a pretty good cloverleaf by Christian. But then we get the shenanigans. Ref almost gets hit by Kurt Angle, but it's enough to make him turn his head, and this allows Kurt Angle to hit a low blow and then an angle slam onto Christian. 1-2 kick out. Then the ref gets distracted again by Karen. And then
fucking Karen.
Karen's, I mean, she's getting her money's worth or earning her paycheck. Kurt has an ankle lock onto Christian. Christian rolls Kurt through. Angle. Kurt almost runs into Karen, gets distracted for a second, and this allows Christian to finally hit the unprettier 1-2 kick out. So both guys have hit their finishes, but both were unable to finish it off. And then there's one point where Christian locks in the ankle lock, but the ref, once again, is still distracted. He's been distracted this whole match. So Angle taps out, but the ref doesn't see it. And there's a whole lot of hullabaloo that happens. Hey, ref, what are you doing? Karen, get the hell out of here. And now AJ Styles comes out. Gets on the apron. Christian walks over to him. AJ and Christian hug it out. AJ has picked Christian, everybody. Christian Coalition is back in full force. Christian turns around. Bang! Phenomenal forearm to the back of the head of Christian. My goodness. AJ has picked Kurt Angle. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. And I mean, the way Kurt Angle just rolled into this angle slam was so sick. He did like a magistral cradle roll through into the angle slam, hits it, following up that phenomenal forearm to the back of the head. 1, 2, 3. Kurt Angle retains the title with the help of AJ Styles. Man, what a finish, huh?
Yeah, and he gets dubbed the Prince of Phenomenal on the next TNA Impact, which is funny because I actually just recently watched a show, I think it might have been No Surrender of 2010, where Taz coined the phrase of, Prince of Phenomenal. I'm like, oh, geez, they did a callback to the Coalition deal. But of course, they don't mention that. They're just kind of like, oh, he's dubbed himself the Prince of Phenomenal. It's like, he's always been the Prince of Phenomenal.
No, Taz made it up, I think. Taz invented it.
Yeah, sure, Taz.
Just like he invented the color orange.
Just like he invented the MMA style, brother. Nobody was doing before me, brother.
Hey, brother. Sabu, brother. I hate you, brother. Shut up, Taz.
You little Oompa Loompa. Go back to your candy factory. This was a really good matchup. I gave it a B. I really love the chemistry that Kurt and Christian have with each other. And honestly, I think this one, it was probably better than the match they'll have at Against All Odds, because I'm sure there's going to be more chicanery and more crap that goes on with that. But yeah, even with the finish where I mentioned before we recorded that I actually saw this live on pay-per-view. So seeing that that twist of AJ Styles getting turning on Christian was a bit of a shock to me. I was kind of like, well, maybe he is going to stick with Christian. And then it wasn't until that phenomenal forearm that I was like, oh, damn. Yeah. Okay, never mind. But yeah, it was one of those moments that I did not see coming, and the finish played off very well with that. Like you said, the way that Kurt Angle just easily just slunk right into make it into the Olympic slam was just great. Overall, this entire show, I gave it a B. I thought it was definitely one of the better shows. There were a couple of matches that we mentioned that were just kind of like either didn't hit the spot or like, why is this happening? But most part, a very enjoyable show. I don't think that there was like one where I felt like, oh my God, this is not worth the price of admission.
Right.
It was definitely one of those shows that felt like a B show, but it was definitely probably a lot better than what was going on in WWE during this point.
Oh, yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, I mean, the Ultimate X and the women's title match, both great matches. The main event was very good as well. Most everything else on the show was kind of like whatever, but fun opener as well. You got some fun segments throughout the show. Ultimately, yeah, I think it was a solid thumbs up from me for this show. And TNA, I mean, you can get a lot worse than this with TNA, so I'll take a pretty okay show for sure.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right.
Well, I'll tell you something that's more than good. That's more than okay. It's 4 thumbs right up there, right up my ass. And that's you, Nate. Appreciate you once again hopping on the podcast, talking some TNA. Always a pleasure. Where can everybody find you and all of the Wrestle Addict and all of those boys and all that shenanigans? Where can everybody find you guys?
Everybody can find us mainly on the Twitter feed, which is going to be at addict_wrestle, which is also going to be a part of, I believe, the Instagram as well. Wrestle Addict Radio is what we proclaim to be the common cure for the wrestling podcast, in which we have the premier podcast of the Kings of the Rings podcast. We have Young Lions Perspective, the Fretzelmania podcast, as well as myself, the host of the Brace for Impact podcast, where I talk about a lot of things TNA related, but I also bring up the dreaded past that is WWE during the current time of what I am recording and working with. But there will be a lot more to talk about, especially going into the AMC era starting next month. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I need to catch up on current TNA. I haven't really been up. Maybe I'll just wait until AMC because I'm sure they are as well. So maybe I'll hop in when they get to the Breaking Bad channel and see what they got cooking.
The Breaking Bad, The Walking Dead. I think I said to myself, I think it was between Walking Dead and I think there was like some reruns of the Three Stooges that I would watch on AMC, and that's probably about it. But hey, now that you got all this classic stuff, now you got modernized wrestling involved too. So AMC's finally catching up with the times.
I mean, Three Stooges TNA, that just seems like a match made in heaven, I would say. Very influential from it, so makes a lot of sense to me. And anything send the audience home with a final thought there, Nate.
Final thought is that 2008 may have been a very interesting year, but 2010 is definitely going to be crazier, and that will be proven when I have Willie T on the show. Stay tuned.
Fuck 2009, I guess, huh? You know what I mean? Desmond Wolf.
Wolf is awesome. Wolf is actually really good.
Yeah.
hungry like the wolf. No, Desmond, don't ever say that again.
That's pretty cool, I think.
No, dude. No, I got something to tell you, bro. That's not how it's gonna work, bro. We're gonna make you almost into like a wolf, but not exactly like a wolf, bro. Just say that you're hungry like the wolf, bro, and it will work out fine, bro.
Sounds good to me. I'm sold. I'm tuning into Spike TV to watch that.
That's how we end the show.
There we
with
go.
the bro.
Once again, thank you to Nate from Wrestle Addict Radio for joining the podcast today. Always a good old time with Nate. Go check him out and Wrestle Addict Radio, wherever you listen to podcasts, as well as YouTube and all that stuff. All of it will be in the description below. Lovely, lovely group of cats over there. Meow. And yeah, that's about all I got for you guys today. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be back to regularly scheduled tone next week. We got some fun stuff coming up later this month, though. I'll be teaser if you've made it this far. Going to be debuting a new game show later this month. So we're building on the Apron bump. So stay tuned for that. And I think it's about all Daddy has for you guys today. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Love you. Mwah. I'm hard.
Yeah. And the hardest, talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started. It's the hardest, talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it.